Hello, this is Abby and welcome back to my channel. So today what I'm talking about is the Lamora Nude Eyeshadow Palette. It's spelled A-L-A-M-O-R-A, and here it is. It's available on Amazon. Last time I checked, I think it was anywhere from like $7 up to $14. So it's a very affordable eyeshadow palette. And they basically duped the Natasha Denona, or if I'm saying that right, I Need a Nude palette. And I will try to link down below, either in the description box, comments, or post or community tab, this palette and the review that's about 2 minutes long on TikTok that compares the Natasha palette to this Lamora palette. But you can see that it's kind of almost like a mini of that palette, and very beautiful colors, very affordable. And I was just going to do a quick little eye look with it. And there is also other videos comparing it side by side to the Natasha palette. I unfortunately don't have it. I do have other ones. But I thought it would be an affordable beauty video of affordable products. So I'm going to start off with the shade Cashmere. And I'm just going to put it all over the eye. And then I'm going to take a darker shade called Eclipse and put it into the outer corner and just blend out. And then the next thing I'm going to take, is I'm just cleaning off the brush a little bit, is I'm going to pack on the shade called an Enigma. Kind of looks like a rosy, rusty brown color. And just pack it in there. And then the next thing I'm going to go in with is this shade called Halo, which looks like a very beautiful shimmer. And just pack it into the outer corner of the eye. And then, just trying to decide. I think I may take, since I did get a little bit of mascara smudged, I'm going to take like a pointy eyebrow or eyeshadow brush and just go underneath. Just to kind of smoke out the lower eye and tie it in with the darker colors in the eye look. So yeah, just very pretty, simple. Needs more blending, of course. I'm just going to grab one of those brushes I got at the Dollar Tree and just blend the outer corners. So super fast, easy look. There's several reviews on TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube comparing this, and I just don't see it mentioned quite as much anymore, but it's a very affordable palette, very beautiful palette. I actually don't even see the need to go out and buy the Natasha Denona one. So here is the first top row, and look at those beautiful neutrals. And I'll go ahead and wipe my hand off, and I'll dry it off too, so the moisture isn't affecting making it look, showing how truly pigmented it is. And then we'll go into the second row, and I'll just go down. That halo glow reminds me of one of the Natasha Denona palettes that I have, that Starlette palette. I actually could compare it. But yeah, that's the second row right here. And then before I go down to the third row, I'm just going to see if I can grab that Starlette palette. So, let's see. Out of this mini Natasha Denona Starlette palette, I think Halo looks a lot like this color right here. So let's compare it. I'm going to swatch it right next to that Halo color. Actually, it may be this quartz color right down here at the bottom. So let me swatch that, because it looks like it has a more pinker undertone. So that is pretty close. So the two shades out of here, Halo and Quartz. Halo is up here, and the other shade, Quartz. Out of the mini Natasha Denona palette, it looks like it would be similar to this color right here, out of the mini Starlette palette. So here is Quartz. Here's the eyeshadow from the mini Natasha Denona Starlette right here. And then here is Quartz from the Lamora palette. So Halo, Starlette, Quartz. These look a lot alike. In fact, as I look at this whole little palette here, there might be more colors that match up. This brown that's towards the front right here, or however you hold the palette, looks like Cocoa out of this Lamora palette. So let's swatch that side by side. Let me see if there's any others. Toasted looks a lot like that, another lighter brown shade in this palette. And anything that's kind of like that. Oh. And kind of cashmere. Maybe this one looks a little bit more peachier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch the ones that I think. So let's first start off with this brown shade, and then I will get to the bottom row. And then let's do this shade. Not quite. Well, and then I'm just going to clean off my hand here. Let's swatch this brown. And then let's do the other one that I was thinking. Okay, so I almost think, even though it hasn't been mentioned, it just said it was a dupe for I Need a Nude palette by Natasha Denona, this Lamora Nude eyeshadow palette. I think also dupes some colors from the mini Natasha Denona Starlette palette. So I was swatching them. This shade called Cinnamon, I compared to this kind of neutral peach shade in the center right here. So here they are. And I would say the Natasha Denona one that's on top is more peachier compared to the cinnamon color. But, you know, pretty close within that family. Another thing I compared was these two brown shades. I swatched these and I compared them to Toasty and Cocoa. So Toasty and Cocoa right here, because I thought they looked a lot alike. And I swatched them side by side. So this is actually the Natasha Denona one right here. And the Cocoa one is on the bottom. And the Toasty shade is on the top. So not quite a did on dupe for the Starlette palette, but pretty similar colors. And then, like I said below, I will link that 2-minute TikTok video where they compared I Need a Nude palette to the Lamora Nude palette. So, and then I'm just going to wipe this off. But I would say it's also kind of a comparable to the mini Starlette palette by Natasha Denona if you really like that one and don't want to pay $30, and you could go on Amazon if you have Prime and pay half the cost and get twice as much eyeshadow. So the last row I got to swatch is here. So we're going to swatch Glint, Cinnamon, Cocoa, and Quartz, which is a very beautiful shimmer. And here they are. And that's the last row of the Lamora Nude eyeshadow palette. And I also think that it's not quite, but pretty comparable to the Natasha Denona Mini Starlette palette. And then go ahead and watch that video that I'll link in the description or comment section of the 2-minute TikTok video where they do show them side by side. And then I did this very natural, everyday eyeshadow look. I love neutral colors. I like high-end makeup. I try to get it on sale. And I like drugstore makeup. I do reviews, hauls, swatches. And if you like that content, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll just go ahead and put my lashes and stuff on off camera. And I'll do a little thumbnail picture either on the post community tab. But thank you for watching the video. And I hope you have a good day.